Hi children, in this session we are going to recall the topics from 9th class which are related to the lesson natural resources of class 10th. So, in the 9th class we have the topic soil pollution. Now children think how is soil formed? What happens if acidic nature or alkalinity of the soil increases? Soil pollution, what it is? Air, water, soil and sunlight are major natural resources. Soil is one of the marvelous product of nature without which there would be no life. It is a natural medium for plants to grow. Now, what is soil made up of? Soil is made up of minerals and decomposed organic matter. We have already seen it is called as the humus along with air and water. Healthy soil means the soil which produces healthy plants, and on eating which these healthy points animals also remain healthy, that is called as healthy soil. Now, organic matter means I have told you it is humus, is the organic component of the soil which includes the dead and decaying plants, animals and residues of those organisms also. Soil contains nutrients necessary for plant growth such as nitrogen, phosphorus. Soil is an abode of millions of organisms and wide range of plants and animals and also microorganisms. Soil organisms include both plants and all animals forms ranging from microscopic viruses to earthworms. You can see the earthworms in the soil here, to the large burrowing animals as rats, gophers. This is the gopher, it is similar to the rat, they will be burrowing the soil. Major microbial groups like bacteria, fungi, algae, protozoa, all these are present in the soil. Now, here major part of the soil microbial biomass is composed of fungi such as mycorrhiza. See the picture here, this is the mycorrhiza, mycorrhiza growing here in the pink color, and in the other colors you can see maroon, green. These are all some type of bacteria growing in the soil close to the roots of the plants. This is the root part, they are showing the root part, and this is mycorrhiza fungi which is growing in relationship like symbiosis. Do you understand symbiosis? Means both are benefited. Here fungi is benefited and plant is also benefited. How? The plant supply sugars for fungi to grow, and this fungi helps the plant to absorb the nutrients from the soil by giving more surface area in the soil. We can divide the waste as two types, biodegradable waste and non-biodegradable waste. Now, what is biodegradable? These materials which are come under biodegradable, they will decompose in the soil naturally in a short span of time or some span of time, and enriching the soil fertility. These are like paper products, vegetable peels, animal waste and food scraps. Here you can see the biodegradable waste. Then what is non-biodegradable waste? Substances that do not decompose in the soil or in the nature, like a natural causing persistent pollution. They will not decompose, so pollution is occurring, like glass bottles, plastics, metals, electronic waste, that is e-waste. So, they cause much of pollution on the earth. Here you can see the e-waste. Causes of soil pollution, different causes you can see here: agricultural practices, industrial waste and solid waste, urbanization, deforestation and atmospheric deposition. All these are the causes of soil pollution. Let us see about the agricultural practices. So, in the agricultural practices mean during growing the crops, what the farmers do, what generally we do, we spray lot of pesticides, lot of fertilizers causing the soil pollution. Over usage of NPK fertilizers, NPK is nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Fertilizers, these have main components these. So, what if we overuse these fertilizers, what will happen? It will reduce the quantity of vegetables. It also reduces the protein content of wheat, maize, pulses etc. grown in that soil. The carbohydrate quality of such crops also gets degraded. Excess potassium content in soil decreases vitamin C and carotene content in vegetables and fruits. Now, see here how indiscriminately insecticides like fertilizers are for growth, insecticides are for killing the insects which damage the crop. pesticides are sprayed to kill the harmful pests. So, if we use the indiscriminately these insecticides and pesticides, insecticides like DDT, gemaxin, and pesticides like BHC, chlorinated dihydrocarbons, organophosphates, aldrin, malathion, furadon, these all cause much harm to the soil quality, because the remains of these pesticides and insecticides remain in the soil itself. We have to learn two terms here, bioaccumulation and biomagnification. For what is bioaccumulation? So, what happens? Farmers are spraying much of pesticides and insecticides in the crops. So, when rain comes or due to watering the crops, all these remains of this chemicals, they will go into the water bodies nearby, and then what happens in the water, okay, phytoplankton will take these chemicals. So, in those bodies, the chemicals which we have sprayed in the crops, they are inserted in these phytoplankton bodies. That thus these chemicals are entering into the food chain. From the phytoplankton, it will go into the zooplankton. So, like this, it entering into the food chain. This entering of chemicals into the food chain is called as bioaccumulation. So, after phytoplankton, when it is eaten by the zooplankton, it enters into the zooplankton, and again when from the zooplankton it is enter into the small fish to big fish, and then into the other animals. This then what happens? The concentration of these chemicals goes on increases as it goes to from one level of food chain to the another level. This is called as biomagnification. Now, we will discuss about the solid waste. Solid on the basis of its sources of origin can be classified into three types. First is municipal solid waste, that means it comes from household waste, construction and demolition debris, sanitation residue, etc. And second one is hazardous solid waste. It comes from industries, hospital waste, because they are very much harmful to the environment, and poisonous waste, they cause toxic substances. Infectious solid waste, biomedical, hospital waste generated during diagnosis, treatment, etc., which include sharp instruments, chemical waste, discarded medicines and human excreta. Now, what are the effects of soil pollution? So, it has environmental degradation. So, environment quality is degraded, human health risks are there, ecosystem is also disturbed. So, in environmental degradation, soil fertility is reduced, imbalance in the soil organisms, increased salinity. Increased salinity means salt content is increased, impacting plant growth. So, salt is increased in the soil, so plant growth is retarded. Human health risk, consumption of contaminated crops. So, when crops are contaminated, we are consuming the crops. So, our health is also at risk, and water is also contaminated, leading to exposure to toxic chemicals like heavy metals like arsenic, cadmium, lead and pesticides. How ecosystem is disturbed? Loss of biodiversity and disruption of food chain affecting the various species that rely on the healthy soil. Now, what to do? So, this is the condition, how to control the soil pollution. So, the best way is to follow the 4 Rs, that is reduce, reuse, recycle and recover. Now, let us see the reduce. Usage of chemical fertilizers can be reduced by applying biofertilizers and manures, and this reduces the use of chemical fertilizers. Then biological methods like pest control can also be reduce the use of pesticides, means biopesticides we have to use. So, this will minimize the soil pollution. Now, reuse. Some materials we can reuse over and over again, like glass containers, plastic bags, paper, cloth, etc. can be reused at domestical levels rather than being disposed. One time use and then dispose of, it is not correct. We have to reuse again and again. And recycle. Some materials like paper and plastic, glass, metals, cloth, all can be recycled and formed into other type of products which can be used in other ways. This is called as recycle. Then recovery of the material or reforesting, we can say. Control of land loss and soil erosion can be attempted through restoring forest and grass covers. Crop rotation or mixed cropping can improve the fertility of the land. So, to recovery, like plant deforestation is done. To recover them, we have to plant more trees. If we cut one tree, we have to plant some 10 to 20 trees. How to manage the solid waste that is produced in industries, household, hospitals and all. So, you are aware of this, no? So, if biodegradable, first thing is to manage the solid waste is implementing the proper disposal, means disposal has to be done in a proper way, so that they can be treated and then released into the atmosphere or land, otherwise they can be recycled. See, in biodegradable dustbin, if we put all the which can be materials that can be decomposed, like vegetable peels, okay, dried leaves and all, they can be formed as compost. And non-biodegradable waste like plastic and glass containers, then they can be recycled and used as other products. Medical waste, this waste has to be disposed in a safe place, means some pit has to be dug and then into the inner layers they have to put, because so that toxic substances do not affect the people living near there or animals or soil. Then e-waste, e-waste is also nowadays a danger. Much of the e-waste is produced, it is properly disposed, it should be properly disposed. Now, what are the innovative solutions for soil restoration? See these words: bioremediation, pyrolysis, vermicomposting. Bioremediation means using the plants to take out the toxic substances from the soil. So, whenever there is a toxic substances or remains are present in the soil, they grow the plants, so that these substances enter into the plant bodies. Then they will remove all the plants from there and dispose in some other distant place, or they will burn. So, this is called as bioremediation. Then what is pyrolysis? Incineration means burning the substances in the presence of oxygen. Pyrolysis means burning the substances in the absence of oxygen or less oxygen. So, like tires, if we take, tires are also very much solid waste we have to see here. So, when the tires are burnt in the pyrolysis method, oil is obtained which can be used in the other usages. And vermicomposting. Vermicomposting means composting decaying matter, biodegradable matter can be converted into the compost. If we introduce the earthworms into the same thing, it becomes the vermicompost. So, vermicompost is done by the earthworms when that compost is has very much more nutrients than normal compost. Now, what we can do for soil conservation? Plant trees, that we have discussed. Terraces means in the slope areas, what they will do? They will do terrace farming, means at one level it will be a slope area. So, at one level they will level it, and some to above level they will level in another level. So, in leveling it is forms the agriculture is done. So, it look like terraces. No-till farming. No-till farming means not ploughing the ground, ploughing the field before putting the crop. Every farmer will plough the ground before putting the crop, but no-tilling helps the soil organisms to grow and also not losing the soil moisture and not losing the soil fertility. So, sometimes we have to do no-tilling farming also. Then contour ploughing. Contour ploughing means if the slope area is there, ploughing has to done from lower to higher. If from upper to higher ploughing is done, the soil is comes down and soil fertility is lost. Crop rotation, we have already seen, I think it is growing of crops alternatively, growing of like pulses after the paddy and then again pulses and again paddy, like that. Crop rotation is also best method to restore the soil fertility and productivity. And soil pH also has to be maintained, it should be somewhat neutral to from 7 to 6 or 8, like that. If it is too acidic, it retards the plant growth. If it is too alkaline also, it will affect the crop health. Now, watering the soil also is important. So, watering at what level? We have to build the bunds and then make it into parts like field, then only watering has to be done, so that upper layer of the soil is not washed away with the water. Salinity management means the salt content in the soil, we have to see it is up to the how the plant needs, that much it should be there, it should not be more or less. Then soil organisms like earthworms, okay. These should be there in the soil, so that they will aerate the soil, that means more of air can go inside, more of nutrients can go inside the soil. It retains water retaining capacity also increases of the soil by soil organisms. So, these are the friendly organisms like earthworm. Indigenous crops means crops which are local to the area, those should be grown, so that they are used to this type of soil, and also the soil organisms also they are adapted to that type of crops. So, indigenous crops should be grown. Now, children, try to answer these questions. What is bioaccumulation and biomagnification? Write 2 activities you can do for solid waste management in your school. Explain 4 R's. So, in this session you have recalled some of the concepts from 9th class topic soil pollution, which are related to the natural resources of class 10th. Thank you.